This video will help you with number 4 on Activity 4.2 model creation, and specifically it's going to focus on one of the aspects of creating a cam. And a cam is going to be this is actually a pair cam that will become a very large focus of a project later on in the IED curriculum. And really wanted to take some time to show you how to create this cam, because this is one that tends to be a little tricky as people start to model and create some of these. So looking at this cam, we're going to take a look at the shape. We kind of got this large circular base, and then we got this kind of circular edge at the top, and then these lines that kind of are going to be drawn down to connect the two. So to start off, I'm going to start a new part file and start a new sketch on the XY plane. For now, I'm just going to focus on drawing a circle. I'm going to draw a circle right on with the center point focused right on the origin, so that way it's constrained in its location. And then right above it, I'm going to draw another circle, give myself a little bit of room, and make it just a little smaller than the other one here. One of the things that may help is the center points from these two circles, so you can see are marked as being 1.75. So I'm going to click on the center of this circle and the center of the first one we drew, 1.75. It's going to space them out even more. And the aspect that we have to look at as well is these are radius dimensions on the outside edges for arcs. So rather than being circles, so all circles are dimensioned by a diameter and arcs are dimensioned by a radius. So where are we going to get those? If I go to put in these dimensions now, they're not going to be correct for later. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to take two lines. I'm going to click on the edge of this first circle, connect it down to the edge of the second, and repeat the process for the other side. Now, one thing I will do as well is look at taking the trim tool, getting rid of this inside line of the circle and the inside line of the second circle. Some aspects as well that you need to consider is tangency of these lines to these circular edges. So I'm going to click on the tangent geometric constraint, click on the line, click on this one. So you'll notice the tangent constraint symbol will show up. Clicking on this line and clicking here, you'll notice it creates a lot smoother line as it goes right into there. Same thing down here at the bottom. Click on using the tangent tool. You can kind of see we have an overlap. And if I click on this circular edge, now it kind of makes them into a nice tangent arc that it's going to flow into the others. And the same thing on the other side. So this kind of cleans up the sketch a little bit. Now, as I look to dimension, 0.5 on the top, 1.25 on the bottom. Now I'm going to get a radius dimension. So 0.5 on the top, 1.25 on the bottom. So now you're going to see a lot closer to the profile shape that you would need for this particular case. Now, as far as this goes, there is one dimension still needed. It seems like, we got all the dimensions we need for this particular part. One thing that you may need to do, I'm going to use a vertical constraint and vertically constrain the center of that first circle to the second circle. Once you vertically constrain that, then you'll see your geometry all turn purple, or kind of a bluish color, to indicate that it's fully constrained. In fact, down here in the right hand corner of your screen, it shows that it is. And then I'm going to say finish sketch, and then I can take a look at extruding this to 0.125. Say OK, start a new sketch on the front face, and then looking at setting a square extrusion in there of 0.125 by 0.125 right in the center. One of the aspects that you may look at is changing the sketch. So I like doing maybe a 2-point center. So if I click on, you'll notice it'll say select center down there in the bottom left hand corner. Click on the origin, draw out. Click, it'll establish a center right on the point you clicked on. Make this 0.125, and then make the height 0.125 as well. So making a square hole to extrude to cut through for a square dowel to run right through. So I'm going to probably have to zoom in here. Click, cut through, And distance, I might just say all and say OK. So now this part, this pair cam has been created. Fairly simple aspect there. In the activity, they actually give you the eye properties so we can check. We'll check my model here. 0.772 on the volume. So right click on the part, go to the eye properties, physical, may have to hit update, and I'm sitting right at 0.772 for my volume. So I know that I've created this part correctly. But this part here uses a little bit more and needs some of the geometric constraints that may or may not have been quite picked up yet, and that's kind of why I wanted to show this video to you.